Hi, everyone. Welcome. We are here together today to talk a little bit about what we've been noticing in our healing practices and also in the collective experience. So there's no denying that this has been an incredible time of change and chaos and uncertainty on so many levels. And there's no way to comprehensively talk about it all today, but Magali reached out to me and I was so glad that she did, because she wanted to bring some light to what she's seeing in her healing practice. And the two of us have a lot in common in terms of our work in the world. So we decided to come together and have a conversation about the importance of remembering our receptivity and ability to respond to the demands, and also to be able to create a space where perhaps you can also take these tools into your life and your practice and hopefully feel supported by some of what we're going to share with you today. So both Magali and I, we work with people who are interested in creating transformational change in the world. And I love how Magali introduced herself to me as a transformation catalyst. And I would say I am the same as well. We are very interested in catalyzing change and transformation in the world through healing and integration and support. So we're really happy to be here with you today, and we're recording this from Zoom. We were going to go live, and then we realized both of us do not understand that technology. And so maybe next time we will figure out that part of it and see you live. But for today, we're on Zoom and we're recording this for you. And we really hope that you receive a great deal of support out of our conversation and the practice we're going to share with you. So anything you'd like to add, Magali?
Yeah, thank you for this great introduction. I just wanted to have a little disclaimer before we start to talk, because we want to use words that are quite charged these days and make sure that no one feels attacked or judged or offended by anything we're gonna say. I know that even people who are very aware can react strongly to these words, because we all have different understanding of them in different traditions. They also have different meanings, and we only want to share our own understanding, which is not like universal. So take what you resonate with and leave the rest. And so these words are masculine and feminine. And in the way we're going to use them, it has nothing to do with gender. It has nothing to do with gender roles. We want to use them to talk about energy dynamics that exist within all of us, that exists within all of us as humans, but also all forms of life. We want to talk about imbalances in these energies in this moment of time. And so we're also gonna make generalities about them. Same thing, just take what resonates and leave the rest. But it's just, we sometimes need to generalize to be able to actually describe patterns that are happening. Not everything fits in the pattern, and that's also the way things are.
Yeah.
So should go a bit into describing what we mean when we use the word masculine and feminine.
Yeah.
I love that you are saying masculine as doing and feminine as being. This is one aspect of this energy who have a lot of facets to them. But it's definitely something we can observe in our culture, that the doing and the result of this doing, the productivity, is much more valued than the being, the essence that we embody. And even our self-value as people is often tied in this culture with what we are putting out there, what we are doing, what we are achieving. And there is this whole dynamic of like striving and seeking and this like going forward and kind of linearity in time that is more like what we see in the young aspect, in the masculine aspect. And I think that many of us can resonate with the fact that, okay, the resting and relaxing and feeling is something that is more at the bottom of our to-do list, if on the list at all. And I feel like this is really what is burning us out, draining us so much, but not only us, but also our environment and the earth, and how we are constantly just exploiting ourselves, extracting our resources, just like we do with the earth, and not leaving the time for this to regenerate, to rest, to incubate. And like people used to have this wisdom of understanding, you know, like, oh, well, I'm not going to cultivate this area for a while because it needs to regenerate. And now we really use all possible means to like press until the last drop of the lemon, so to say, with the soil, for example. But also, I mean, even with ourselves, like this dynamic is like describes our relationship with everything, starting with ourselves. And I see that even in a little bubble of conscious people, even meditation is almost like sometimes sold as like it's going to help you increase your productivity, you know.
And that your value is based upon, right, how much you produce, how productive you are. I think that's what I see a lot, right, in my practice, is that emphasis on how much you do is how valuable you are, or determines your state of worthiness, unworthiness, because I work with that a lot in my practice, and how that overshadows or enables the forgetting of our inherent worthiness, our inherent abundance, our inherent beingness as the deep resource we need to do, but and to act and to engage, but from a place that is deeply resourced, that is able to respond rather than react, that is able to repair rather than extract for its own means, right? Which I love the way you talk about this culture of extraction. I wonder if would you mind, would it be a good time to kind of dive into that? Because I think that is something, when you said that, it stood out as really significant. And I hadn't used that word or had that word in my vocabulary, but it would make sense to me, right? Like if we are depleted in some way, or the addictive pattern, right? It's like it has an unaddressed need, and the need is born out of the wound. But if we're not in touch with the wound or the need, we will try to fill that depletion kind of on a surface level extraction of like, I'm going to take it from here, I'm going to take it from there, rather than going inward, tending to the need and accessing a healing response from within, right? There's like this outward grasping of like, I need that, 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 but the inner need is left abandoned. And I kind of feel like that's what's going on, not only on an individual level, but a collective one as well. And so when you said the culture of extraction, the monoculture, and it's hungry. It's hunger to extract, but it's not regenerative. Which is another way I would describe the feminine as, I remember hearing it, the feminine principle of energy as this generative receptivity that is able to resource, right? And it's not that the masculine doesn't do that, but it does it in a different way. It creates a different form of generative activity. So I wonder if you could, I would love for you to share a little bit more about the extraction, the forceful extraction, or the concept of that, which I find really compelling.
And when we talk about that, we don't talk about the masculine, but the imbalance in the masculine. It's not the essence of the masculine, but when it's out of balance like this, then it leads to this extraction and what you are describing, like this being hungry, but it's like the Tibetan talk about the hungry ghost is what we describe as addiction, like replacing true satisfaction with intensity and variety, just taking, but without the presence, without the appreciation, we never become satiated. And we need to have more and more and more and more. And this, like, we seek and we, you know, this like going forward and taking and grasping and when we are more in balance with the feminine, then we are more able to like be present with the intake so that we can really appreciate the fullness of it. And this appreciation is what's create this satiation. And there is also, you know, we need to have appreciation also for the whole process of what I take in myself. How was it produced? How was it growing? Did I tend to the conditions of this creation, or the birth of this creation, or the development of this creation? Did I tend for the earth to receive the nutrients and the attention? You know, some people talk to their plants and they say it does wonder, you know, for their plants' well-being, and somehow this loving presence, love and presence at the same time is creating also creations that are nutritious. With this monoculture, you know, like narrowing the conditions and like kind of be more forceful with all kinds of means, mechanicals or chemicals, and like only having one thing, you know, to like increase the productivity. Well, we are depleting the soils. What is growing on them is also empty of nutrients. And I feel it's also showing in the culture in general as like this perfectionism, narrowing of the norms of like everyone should have the same face and the same clothes and the same taste. And yes, but actually it's making everyone ill. It's making everyone completely feeling unworthy, feeling appreciated, because then the essence, the uniqueness is not being seen and valued. And we see now a little bit a comeback of, you know, some people are experimenting with permaculture or food forests, creating ecosystems where actually the recognizing the uniqueness of each part, how they enhance each other, and how then the whole is more than the sum of their parts because of the diversity.
Yeah, I love that.
I think this is what the yin is showing us, you know, more of this like narrowing and line and striving, this like, no, there's a web, everything is interconnected, and this is what makes the richness of it and the nourishment.
Yeah, it's almost like if we only produce it's almost like we only exhale. And there's like a deep need for inhaling with the whole, right? Like, so I think part of what we're also talking about is bringing back the importance or highlighting the importance of connecting to our direct experience, right? And like you said, like looking at and connecting and feeling our direct experience again, right? So when you talk about the monoculture, when you talk about the extraction, I always think about how I was always fascinated by a homogenized society where it's like, okay, we want these levels of certainty and sameness so that we can feel related, relatable. But when that's out of balance and we discriminate or remove uniqueness, right? We're moving in only one direction, and like the whole of life is based on a reciprocity, right? So when I see the masculine and feminine, or I see the yin yang, like obviously the symbol of the yin yang, and they're never not with one another. The dance between them is the building block of all that is, right? We're talking about building blocks of energy, and when they're out of relationship or disproportionate to one another, the need is to bring them back into balance, back into communication with one another. So if we're only going out, if we're only producing outwardly, if we're only creating and we're not taking time to actually integrate the wisdom of our experience, there's going to naturally be some form of a lack or blind spot or an area that needs tending. And I think what you and I are seeing in our practices is this very palpable need of tending to our human experience of vulnerability, the pain that is proliferating through our collective experience, and not ignoring those needs, but bringing careful attention to what the deeper layers are, maybe on a subtle level. And in order to do that, we need to slow down. So obviously with technology and with the amount of information that is available to us, we can easily get swept up in the overwhelm of processing all of that. And we actually lose the connection to the inherent wisdom we embody and the inherent interconnectivity we have with the whole of the planet, right? Like we are infinitely connected to all we need. But what happens if we're caught up in the monoculture, the culture of extraction, or the culture of productivity or perfectionism or performance or whatever, we forget our connection. So I think in one way, I think what we're bringing to light, or what we'd like to talk about and explore with you, is like how to return back into connection with ourselves and deeply receive our direct experience as a resource for healing and transformation and catalytic change.
Yes, because to tend for our needs, we need to feel ourselves. If we are disconnected from our body, if we are disconnecting from our emotions because we are so much in the mind, or with our attention pulled into the digital world, and we don't feel ourselves, how would we know what we need?
Yeah.
So this is like the first thing is to allow time to feel ourselves and start to value that, this time we spend with ourselves, feeling ourselves, to put it back at the top of the list.
Yeah.
And I know that my people are also, they love ideas, they are visionaries, they are big thinkers, and they value that a lot. And yes, they have most of the time amazing ideas, you know. And it's really like starting to also reprogram a little bit, you know, this tendency of always going in the mind, because going in the body is not going to take any of these capacities away from us. In the contrary, it's going to help us bring these ideas into the material world, to start to build and create these ideas in a tangible way. And I feel like it's really needed now that we have these groundbreaking ideas to not be just talked about and described, but really come as manifestations in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. The word that keeps coming to mind is fully embodied. Yeah. Because if they remain on the idea level, it's really nice to talk about it, but then who are we walking around as? Right? The change that we want to see outwardly is something that we want to support inwardly first, taking root inside the body so that we're walking around as the change, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So bring it all the way down to the root. So
do we want to model that and to start talking about it?
Yes. Yes.
So please make yourself comfortable. We're going to do a little practice now and give you an experience of what these words actually mean. So you can sit down or lay down and really make yourself as comfortable as possible, letting go of any unnecessary effort to hold your body in a certain way. You can also allow your breath to support you in this process. The breath has its own intelligence, and if you allow it, it will just know what to do. And feel the space that your body is occupying in the room. Feel the volume of your body. And feel the inner space. How when you breathe, for example, when you breathe in and you expand, it helps you to feel the inner limits of your body. You can also use the sensations of your clothes against your skin to sense the outer boundaries of your body. And feel the different textures of these clothes. And notice as well the space around your body. The volume of the room where you are. Relax your feet on the floor, down on the floor. Relax your sit bones. And notice as well the information you are receiving through your senses. There is a taste in your mouth. Maybe you also notice the different textures that you can feel in your mouth with your tongue, for example. Notice the smells. I know for me it's a very sensitive sense. And so I like to have nice smells in my house. And notice the soundscape. I try to perceive all the sounds at once, the sounds that are close or maybe far away. Try to receive it as a whole. Mm. And even if you have your eyes closed, try to receive the vision of your inner space. Let yourself being shown what's there. And if you have your eyes open, you can do the same. And have your eyes resting in the back as if they were in the movies, and receive the visual of the room in front of you. And try to imagine it's like going into panoramic view, kind of. Perceive more of the space and not having this focused vision. And check in with the rest of your body if maybe you notice some tensions that don't need to be there. You relax even more deeply. And you kind of lean back into your body, in the back of your body. Feel the back of your head, the back of your heart, and rest there. And from that place, try to feel into the depth of that moment. try to feel into the richness of that moment. Maybe you can connect with a sense of timelessness from that place.
And just noticing what it's like to feel the depth of this moment. To feel the timelessness in your body. And allowing the timelessness to support you leaning into the spaciousness that's here for you. And from this spaciousness within you, what do you notice? In your body as sensation? And as feeling? What do you feel in this moment? What are some of the qualities of feeling that you have right now in this moment? And you may notice there are qualities of deep resource and calm, as well as pointed areas of focus. So just noticing how these two dance together. The spaciousness and the areas of pointed focus. Almost as if your body were like the night sky, and you are both the dark night sky and the stars. And as you feel yourself here now in this moment, what are the needs that you have? And perhaps you'll notice one feeling is stronger than another. Go with that feeling and see if you can locate the need underneath and within that feeling. Bring your care and attention to the need gently. And at first, you might just observe this quality of need in you as true, as basic, as necessary. And as you listen to the need, what is the response that could bring healing, support, care, and love to this need? And give yourself that response. Give yourself what you need. Allow the qualities to unfold within you that you need. What would it be like to receive more of what you need? And just being with that for the next few moments, bringing it all the way through your being, all the way down into the seat of your pelvis, all the way down into your root. And once you feel the energy fully grounded in you, for you, and you feel it complete for you, and slowly come out of that meditation. And you might even just take a little time to notice the shift in quality of being that you are right now. And anything else that feels important for you to remember. Thank you, Makali.
I feel so nourished. Thank you.
So keeping on that level, maybe little words just to say thank you for this opportunity in working together. And we'll leave a space for people to comment and ask questions below. Maybe
We'd love to hear about your experience with the practice.
Great. Excellent. Thank you all.
Really enjoyed this conversation with you, Andrea.
Me too. Thank you. Thank you.